Good morning, good evening, good afternoon, wherever you're at. I'm Mary Eggert, founder of Global Waterworks, and thrilled to be here with Emma Weisbord, who is the partnerships lead with Royal Haskoning DHV and an amazing leader also of the SWAN Young Professionals, who has grown that organization and the enthusiasm of Youth for Digital Water. So on the eve of International Women's Day, I get the chance to chat with Emma and was just curious, Emma, if you could set the context right now as far as the state of our water resources and the reason why young professionals and women would want to be involved. Love to hear it.
Absolutely. And thank you for having me. Really excited to be speaking with you today, especially on the eve of such an important day for not just our sector, but the wider world. So in terms of the world's water resources and where we're at, I think on my more optimistic days, my view of the state of the world's water resources is that we are so lucky to live at a time where we can be the ones to solve these really intricate global challenges. And the reality is they are very intricate. The impacts of climate change on our water systems are increasingly intense and complex. And really anybody that you'll speak to in our sector understands the difficulties of tackling these challenges. And that's from providing clean water services under drought conditions and aridification conditions, all the way through to treating wastewater in extreme wet conditions and even flood conditions in some case. And then on top of that, you have the state of infrastructure in different parts of the world, the financial challenges, the demographic shifts, along with urbanization. All of these challenges are increasingly complex and compound one another in different areas to varying degrees. And that's not even to mention the state of the workforce that is needed to tackle these challenges. And that's the piece that I feel most strongly about and most passionate about is on the bright side, we have solved a lot of these challenges. We have the technologies, we have the incentives in many places to address the vast majority of these water-related challenges. But what we need is that right collective action to do so. So we need leadership and we need people. And that comes back to how do we ensure that the water sector is an inclusive, attractive place to work in and to build your career in. And the reality is that it is. We have such fantastic people in the space. There's incredibly complex challenges to solve. And we're so lucky to be able to be in a position to do that. We just need to bring the right people to the table and bring extra chairs with us when we get to the table.
Totally agree, Emma. And I think you hit on, the opportunity to get people engaged, but you've done a great job of that. And I'm wondering if you could just share a few examples of what has engaged a diverse group in your Rising Young SWAN professionals or any of your initiatives at Royal Haskoning.
That's a great question, Mary. I think in general, young people in particular are passionate and they want opportunities. And that's what we did with SWAN. And SWAN gave us this beautiful sandbox to create for us to play around in and to try different things. And through the efforts that we did as our leadership team, and I want to be very clear that this was complete collective action. We worked together. There was an understanding from the start that no one person would be in the lead on things. We would take different responsibilities and different roles, but ultimately what we did was created opportunities for young professionals who are interested in smart water. And we did that in various ways. We had one pillar on mentorship, where we had a series of leaders in smart water who came and spoke to us on a variety of topics. We had an ambassadors cohort where outside of the core leadership team who were coordinating and managing, we had a wider cohort of people who could lead on different topics, bring more people to the table, as I mentioned before. And alongside that, creating different opportunities for learning, for engaging, and for mentoring. And that's, I think, one thing that we really heard from the network when we went to go ask everybody what they wanted from a Rising Smart Water Professionals community. It was opportunities to learn, opportunities for jobs, opportunities to engage and to network. And that is really the core component of what you can create. And once you have that, then all of these passionate people come and engage with it. And that was extremely exciting to me.
Yes, it was exciting to watch and to see, and your involvement too in the digital twin activities has been fun to see. And you made a reference to we're at a cusp at a very critical time, and we should be honored or privileged to know that we have the chance to change things for the future. And
Mhm.
what is it that you see as far as digital transformation? Do you think it's possible for us to solve our world's water challenges? And what would be key to our doing that?
There's so many ways I could answer that. So the digital transformation piece, for me, what I thought was key to it is that everything comes back to people and the decisions that they make. And so if we give people the data and the insights and the analysis on all of the data that they have, then they're more able to make the right decisions at the right times to achieve the outcomes that they want. And that data is collected through various means. We have incredibly advanced instrumentation opportunities now. We have Earth observation technologies. We have, more localized collective groups that go out and collect that data from field sites. So all of this information can be digitized to make it more accessible. And the piece that I first got interested in was how collective intelligence can come together and serve people in those roles who are making important decisions to address water challenges. So that digital piece was really core to what I saw being some of the barriers to unlocking first more talent coming into the sector and being able to use the talent that's already here and keep them interested and engaged as technology progresses.
Right. We all know the axiom, we can manage what we can measure. And
Exactly.
giving people the data and seeing the results. We saw that with both your engagement levels in rising young professionals as well as with impact. And what project would you say makes you most proud when you think about your specific involvement?
I've been really fortunate to work on some great projects and be associated with different projects in various ways. But I do come back to what we did with the Rising Smart Water Professionals community, where we created a foundation for that community to just launch and rise. And that came back to working together as a team, making sure that the way that we're building it was as inclusive and diverse as possible, keeping in mind some core tenets as we went of diversity, inclusion, equity, and access to this network. And to this day, it's still one of the things I'm most proud of because I I love seeing it progressing now. It's been such a joy to watch the next cohort of leaders come on and run with some of the pieces that we did and grow it and change it and allow it to evolve in a way that suits this next cohort of leaders and the next cohort of ambassadors that are coming into the Smart Water Network.
Yeah, well, you talk about the next cohort and the next generation, but I'm curious also to know about what's next for Emma Weisbord. Touched
It's
on
a
all
great
of the
question.
organizations. Yeah.
It's been an interesting past year for me. I've moved countries, so I've lived away from my homeland for 10 years and just moved back in the last 6 months. So the most recent projects has just been getting grounded, getting myself sorted in a place that I've not lived in for a long time and getting to know it again, reconnecting with family and friends and building community. And that's a really important part of my life is the personal side, and that creates a strong foundation for my professional side. I've had time in the last few months to look at what is coming next, and I think a few different directions are exciting for me, but the partnerships role and looking at how we can create ecosystems of collective action to address global challenges is really something that I want to dive into more and increase my skills around, increase my network around, and make sure that we are leveraging best practices in how we create partnerships, how we create these communities of practice that are addressing different challenges. And the part of this that I find the most interesting is I've spoken about this before and I get really excited about it. It's that edge effect. So the edge effect in biodiversity is the boundary area between two different ecosystems is where you get the most biodiversity. And that also goes for arts and science and music and innovation as well. So how do we bring together different groups, different expertise, different disciplines, and look at where that boundary effect can create innovation and solve challenges? And so that's where I'm most excited about what comes next, is exploring that piece of partnership building in the water sector and how we can bring together different groups to solve some of the emerging challenges around not just PFAS and emerging contaminants, but really the implementation that's lacking on some of the technologies that we've had for years, but are lacking because maybe we haven't had the right soft skills at the table or the right financial mindset at the table. So bringing together those pieces is really where I want to devote time and energy in the coming years.
What a beautiful focus. I mean, truly integrative, truly Renaissance, incorporating the perspectives of the arts and sciences. We love the idea of the STEAM vision, not just science, technology, engineering, and math, but also the arts. And
oh, hi, buddy. Hi.
Yeah. So Buddy says, yeah, keep my water clean.
Yeah. More dogs in the water sector, I think, is also needed.
I agree. Yeah. So Buddy, thanks for your interest, and thanks Emma for her good work. And so we just really always enjoy seeing you, Emma, and know that you energize people, and you have been impactful, working so diligently. So I just want to raise a glass to toast you and say thank you for your impact on water. And you mentioned the multi-stakeholder efforts. Any way we can support, we're nonprofit, and people can join and put a group together where they can invite all of their stakeholders to have a say. And we welcome that, and also know that you have many other groups you're working with where you can probably access similar things. So know that we're cheering you on. Happy to have you here to lead women in the next generation of water leaders. And just thank you for your time today. And
my pleasure. And Mary, thank you also for creating this space for people to talk about what they're passionate about. I think that's also such an important thing that you're doing, and platforming different voices and bringing this together and creating community, I think is one of the best services you can do in the world. So cheers to you as well.
Yes,
thank you.
So we're going to use your tips and hopefully make it even more engaging. So appreciate Excellent. That. Okay. Have a great rest of your day. Yeah.